G'day, I'm Woz.
And I'm Nick, sometimes Coxie, mostly Nick.
This is the Tradies in Business podcast, and we're here to share a bunch of tips, ideas, tactics that you can put in place to get change happening in your trade business right now.
If you're really lucky, we're going to entertain you with a few mum jokes, and more importantly, a bunch of fantastic guests that will educate you in all things you need to know about trade business. But we do promise to do it with a whole bunch of fun along the way.
I'm a self-confessed idiot, so strap yourself in and enjoy another episode.
G'day listeners, g'day Coxie.
Hello, Warwick. Hello, listeners. I had to think really hard. I was going to call you a silly name, and I thought, no, I don't want all our listeners to pick up on the silly name, and then it'd be yours forever.
There you go. I've just changed my name on Zoom, so you're reminded that it's not anything silly. You can just read straight from the script, Nicole.
Do you ever look at those little names on the screen, Warwick?
I do when they're weird. When we have people jump onto Zoom and it says, you know, Brian's cat or something, I think it's funny. And then I get distracted looking at the name and it's not Brian's cat, but often it'll be a tradie jumps on the wife's computer and it's her Zoom name and they don't have the same surname. And I'm thinking, okay, Cheryl Crow. This guy is not Cheryl Crow. Who the heck's Cheryl Crow? Have we got the right person here? I don't even know. Anyway, that's how my brain works sometimes, Nicole.
Well, the only time I look at them is when I'm about to intro someone on the Tradie Wife Life podcast. And then I absolutely doubt myself every time and worry that I'm going to get the pronunciation incorrect. So I'm in a death panic right through the first part of the intro to every episode thinking I'm going to stuff it up. I'm going to get this wrong. It's the only time I look at the names.
So speaking of names and checking people out, that's a terrible segue to what should we share on social media as a tradie, Nick?
Oh, I love this. We thought we'd just do a really quick tip because we are seeing some pushback, I suppose. Lots of tradies don't want to post on social media. Is it any wonder? Probably not. It's not the most fun thing in the world to do. And you have an opportunity to share bits and pieces around you. We did an episode recently, whether it's already been or it's coming up, with somebody who works with Meta who shared a little bit of this information. But we thought, look, there's another 10, 15 minutes here we can spend with you talking about what you can share. And if we remember first and foremost that social media is a place for your clients to go and research you and develop the know, like, and trust that's required to spend money with you, then you already have the basis for what you can share, which is pretty well anything that relates to you personally, your team, or the business. Remembering to stay away from politics unless you're in a political sphere, to stay away from religion unless you're servicing a particular religion only as your target market. For the most part, we want them to be quite safe conversations that we're having online, but that's their opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. There's nothing wrong with sharing your knockoff drinks on a Friday afternoon or your camping trip on the weekend, because it's part of your values as a business owner, that time with your family or the downtime at the end of the week. And that needs to be balanced out with some of your work stuff as well. One of the things I most love seeing is the stuff behind walls. Now, anybody who works in this area probably thinks it's the most boring thing in the world. Yet you see so many surprises. And I have no idea what the pipes look like or the wires look like behind the walls. Or I didn't. I have a much better idea now. But your clients actually want to see that because it goes a long way to showing your integrity as a tradesperson and your business's integrity and the standard you hold your staff to. But they can't see that once the wall sheet's on. They don't see anything at all. So there really is quite a big gamut of what there is tolerable and accepted and enjoyed on social media for your followers. I think the most important thing is to be posting and posting consistently.
I am not going to disagree with you, and yet I might add a slightly different twist to the safe word. Not that we have a safe word. I agree. You should stay away from particular topics on social media. And I think it's also worth pointing out that you should also be clear about what you stand for. So if you are a stickler for quality or precision or attention to detail, don't say that on your website because everyone says the same thing, but do show images that represent that or share posts that communicate your values around that particular point. You know, maybe you're on a site and there's some shoddy workmanship. Don't rag on the other trade and name them or any of that sort of stuff. That's just stupid. but do show some images and go, here's an example of why we're so passionate about attention to detail, because, this door now sticks and we've been called out to fix it because somebody else didn't take the time to X, Y, Z. So that communicates your values, and consumers really, they identify with people who have common values. So that's, I guess, just more of a distinction, Coxie, than disagreeing with you, because I wouldn't dare do that on this podcast.
No, there is another podcast that you do regularly disagree with me on. Fodder for our listeners. Yeah, there's a broad scope. Sorry, Warwick, go on.
No, I was just going to wrap it up and stop talking.
Oh, I was just going to say there's a broad scope of what you can share. Don't forget that people want to know who your team are as well. They want to, people are, when they're buying a business or they're buying a service, they're buying the people behind it. They're not necessarily buying the corporate name of your business. They want to know who you are, what you enjoy, what you stand for, as Warwick has just said, who your team are. I mean, if you're a plasterer, but you regularly service your own vehicles for whatever reason, but that's important to you, then share that. Or if you are a painter who loves fishing on the weekends, there's nothing wrong with sharing that as well, because it helps set the tone with your clients as they come through and start working with you. I think the most important thing to remember, though, is they're not as invested in it as you are. So perfection is not necessary when it comes to social media. Answering people that comment to you is absolutely necessary. People look for that. They want to see the engagement and the interaction. So please, if you take the time to put up a post, make sure you take the time to check in and respond to anybody. And if you get some sort of snarky, trolly, or negative feedback on there, like lovely people pointing out that there's a gap in my teeth, then it's okay to actually go back and speak to that in a positive way. It demonstrates to your potential clients that, hey, this person's a really reasonable and lovely person. I still want to work with them despite what old Mr. Trolley said.
Mr. Trolley Troll.
Yes.
So there you go. If you've ever been confused about what to put on your social media, there's some ideas. If you want more tips on that, we have a bunch of stuff over on the website. There's some free training on there. Pretty sure there's some marketing training that we give away some for free, some turbo trainings.
Yes.
So go hit us on the website, tradiesinbusiness.com.au, and we'll be back with another episode tomorrow if you listen to these in chronological order.
Guru.
Thanks for listening.